Raila Amolo Odinga did not save Governor Sakaja from being impeached. Rather, Raila Amolo Odinga did save himself. Nairobi County makes hundreds of millions in revenue generation per day. And I want to take you back the memory lane when the former governor for Nairobi County, Mike Mbuvi Sonko, after assuming office, he gave an account that every day he realized that monies in terms of revenue generation were being lost. They hadn't the digital systems of issuing receipts. And he took the case to President Uhuru Kenyatta then and his deputy William Samoei Ruto, thinking he was saving the situation. He was being brought to over 800,000 Kenyan shillings on a daily basis in cash, like, boss, this is for your tea. And that money was being dished way upward to the president. Now, that is the scenario I want to bring to you currently. Now, there is also an allegation. This is not the first time. Maybe you've heard it, maybe you haven't heard it. That in the ODM controlled or led counties, each and every time money is allocated, there is percentage that they willingly take out and give it to Raila Amolo Odinga. How they do it, I don't know. Whether it's through cash, whether it's through bank transfer, I don't know. Whether it's through a company that is offering a tender and it is channeled through it, I don't know. But it is alleged that Raila Amolo Odinga receives money from the ODM-led counties from the governors. Now, through that allegation and seeing what is happening in Nairobi, you will ask yourself, why haven't they saved anybody else set for Sakaja? Because they don't want their name mentioned anywhere close to graft and corruption cases. The broad-based government is one of the most expensive governments to run. And that is why they will do whatever it takes, including touching taxpayers' money, just to sustain the broad-based government. Because literally, everybody wants to eat. Everybody wants a share. A policy, a bill should be passed, which is the president is in interest of it. Monies have to be dished out. That is the kind of rot we have in our regime. Why is Raila coming in? Why is Ruto coming in? Because they clearly know if Sakaja will be impeached and finally he finds himself in the Senate, then Sakaja will not agree to sink alone. He will have to sink or blow the whole ship down. And who will be mentioned? Raila Amolo Odinga, William Samoei Ruto, among other key leaders in the nation. Now, there is much interest in Nairobi County per se because of the monies that is being generated in terms of revenue. Therefore, these shenanigans of trying to impeach Governor Sakaja wouldn't have met the light of the day because there are beneficiaries, Raila Amolo Odinga, William Samoei Ruto, among others, who wouldn't want them exposed of the benefits they've been getting from the revenue generated from Nairobi County, because it runs to the tune of hundreds of millions. Now you know what you're going to do with this information. I don't know. We've had several governors impeached. Wavinya Ndeti, Makueni, We have the other day the Kericho governor. Why didn't they stop that? And Ruto only came to speak about it after the Senate acquitted him of the charges. What were the MCAs holding against Johnson Sakaja, the governor for Nairobi? They said that Sakaja has privatized the public health sector, the functions that should be carried by the county. They also said even the issue of vaccination, these functions that should be performed by the county, he has privatized them. Now, here comes the issues of misuse of office, misuse of power, and corruption allegations. That is why I'm telling you, you can't be impeached as at now unless Ruto and Raila agree that you have to be impeached. And that is why the development you wish for in the devolved units, you ain't getting it. What do I mean? You've elected a governor who is competent enough, a governor who is development oriented, a governor who wish the best for the locals in his county. But again, you realize there are ghost workers. How do they realize this? A lot of monies, a lot of revenue generated is used to pay the public workers. Then one day, the governor decides everybody to stand at his or her workstation. Then you realize, oh, so I have over 10,000 ghost workers, which is rending to tunes of billions in terms of recurrent expenditure, that is salaries. The moment you decide you want to stop that, the MCAs threaten you with impeachment. Why? The ghost workers, some of them have their persons there as ghost workers. The MPs are also waiting for that case to reach unto them because some of their people there are ghost workers. The senators, women representatives, the whole system is rotten. So if you want to take that meat away from them, you won't make it so easily. So it's either you devise ways of making sure the small you get, you perform with it, minus touching those ghost workers. That is why getting development in your area, as much as your government want it done, becomes difficult. Just the other day, the governor for Siaya, James Orengo, who was tending to be aligned so much with the interest of the people and even fighting the broad-based government, one day he came out and said, actually, these were part of his last one before he disappeared, and then took a long time before he reappeared in the funeral and burial of a CEO, Phoebe CEO in Homa Bay County. He said that some people are pressing his balls so hard that speaking is becoming difficult. What do you think about that? I bet you know the answer. Therefore, they do say whenever there is smoke, there is fire. In Swahili wanasema panapo moshi lazima kuna moto. So you can either take this as the story is a jabber as usual, but again, at least I'm trying to open your eyes so that you get to know those leaders whom you think are good, those leaders you think have been fighting corruption and graft, those leaders you think are so competent enough to take this country to the next level of development and economic maturity. and stability, they are not any closer to playing that league with you. They are corrupt to the core. Kindly give me your take in the comment section below. If you're watching from my YouTube channel, kindly subscribe and press the notification button so anytime that we are live or we upload content of this nature, you'll be the very first person to be notified. Ahmed Khalif is my name for the Unscripted Talks here in Dub Radio. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Kwa timba kali za Afrika, Dub Radio ndio mpango mzima.